Everyone, welcome to another Saturday weigh-in day. I did not do a Friday treat video this week because I just wasn't feeling it and it would have been a repeat of something else. I did, however, eat a bag of those Smart Sweets because on the back it says excessive consumption may lead to diarrhea and Saturday is weigh-in day. You do the math. And so there's your TMI for the day. Anyways, I did go to weigh-in and I was up 0.4. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah, I know, it's disappointing. I am sad, but it's like, you know what? I'll see it next week. I don't know why that happened. It's not like I can pinpoint a reason and be like, oh, it was that. I avoided pizza. Yeah, my parents ordered pizza. I didn't have even a slice. I stayed within my points. I drank my water, did my exercises, blah, 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 all that stuff, and I'm up point. But it is that time of month. So maybe that's the reason. I think so. I don't know. I am sad about it. I am disappointed, but if we know anything by now, it's that I won't see it this week, but I'll see it next week. And you know what? Just dust yourself off and just keep going, because that's what you gotta do. Just keep on, as Dory says, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's what you can do. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, just give up and throw it all away? No, thank you. I'll do the opposite. So I went to Scott's meeting, and I like the way he presents the topics. He doesn't read from the weekly or anything, which you read that thing and it's like, who wrote that? Like, what? The person who wrote it with 20 minutes, within 20 minutes, 20-minute deadline, while they were half asleep. Like, but the way he presents the topics are so good. He started that, first of all, he's like all over the place, which I love. And he was talking about like body image and like how there was a weekly once of a woman who was like plus size bigger, and she was like at the beach, and I don't know, all this stuff. And I was like, wow, I really needed to hear that today. But also he started the meeting saying, what did he say? He said, if you're tired of eating the same stuff over and over again, and that's what this week's meeting has been about, just changing up how you eat. And I was like, yeah, I'm tired. You know what? There is a food I'm tired of eating. So here's the thing. When you're on Weight Watchers or keto or any type of weight loss program thing, you find a particular food or a meal or a recipe that really works for you. You know, you eat that's within your points, and the weight's like coming off like when you're eating it. And you stick to this recipe, and you stick to this food because it's working. And what's gonna happen if you keep eating the same thing over and over again? It's like you're gonna burn out and you're gonna get sick of it. And this is what he was talking about. He's like, what food are you sick of? And he's like, okay, so, and it's bound to happen. Like, depending on what plan you're on, there's a lot of foods that are 0 points. Like, on blue and purple, eggs are 0 points, chicken breast is 0 points, beans are 0 points. So it's, oh my god, I remember when it was freestyle and it was just the blue plan. I felt like I was on a diet. I hated it because I did feel like, oh my god, this is the only stuff I can eat. I don't even eat this stuff all the time. So I was so relieved when they brought back green beyond the scale, because I'm like, okay, now I can eat a whole bunch of stuff within like these 30 points. I don't have to just eat chicken breast every single day. But so anyways, that's beyond the point. So he was talking about it. He was talking about just this burnout we feel with this food and getting sick and tired of it. And he gave some suggestions and said, so change it up. Change up what you're eating. We're not going to culinary school. We don't need to create like this whole different recipe, which you could, and it does help you out in certain ways, but you don't have to. If that's not what you want to do, you don't got to do that. Instead, do little teeny tiny changes that make a difference. Like if you're eating eggs, I don't know why you would, but if you are, add some of that everything but the bagel seasoning, or try a different brand of something. Like me, I was like, I'm gonna say something blasphemous, getting a bit tired of peanut butter. Yeah, because I eat it every day as like my form of protein or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'm getting tired of this. And then he was just like, well, try a different brand. Because it can be the same product, but a different brand tastes different. It does. He mentioned, Scott, my leader, mentioned that he would always get those Bolthouse ranch dressing, and he was sick and tired of it, but he kept getting it because it worked, and you know, that's what he was eating. And then finally he reached a little to the right and got the salsa ranch. Just something different, but within his points. And he'd go to a restaurant and he'd get the spinach, what was it, a spinach something. It was a Mexican restaurant, and he would get the spinach something, and it was relatively lower in points, and he got sick and tired of it, but he got something else and just changed it up that way. So I was, and you can do little teeny tiny things. So instead of using powdered garlic, if that's what you use fresh cut garlic. Instead of using, I don't know, like add some basil, add some sort of spice to your dishes. And let's see, what else did he say? Instead of, someone said like change up where you're eating. If you usually eat on your dinner table, eat outside. Instead of having like oatmeal for breakfast, have it for like dinner or for lunch. Breakfast for dinner, dinner for breakfast, something like that. Change it up that way. Oh my gosh, I just thought of, okay, if you eat like quesadillas or like wraps and things like that, you know that hack where you cut the tortilla in half and then fold it into the 4 quadrants and then like fold it over, that little hack, the crunch wrap, do it that way. It's the same things, but you're eating it different, you're changing the face. Some lady, he mentioned that some lady she makes stir fries, so she changed the way she cuts up her vegetables. Instead of doing squares, she just does it the long way. Use a different topping, use a different sauce. So this morning I come home and I make my peanut butter sandwich and I add a little bit of cinnamon, and I use this. Oh my gosh, have you guys had this? 1 teaspoon is 1 point, but I use like half a teaspoon, barely even that. It's 15 calories. Oh my gosh. This is so good. So I added a little bit on my peanut butter sandwich, and I never cut it, but I cut it this time. And I don't know, that did seem to do the trick. Change things up, you know? Add a different type of, whatever rub you use on your chicken breast, use a different one. Or I don't know, cut up your chicken breast differently. Just try something a little different. And a little bit of, oh, that's another thing. For my strawberries, I usually put on like tahini, put on some of that fat, or that sugar-free Hershey sauce. It doesn't have to be like super dramatic change, but just a little something is enough to keep you from getting bored. I thought that was a good meeting, because I'm like, you know what? You do get bored of eating the same things sometimes. Sometimes you're a creature of habit. I am. And you can eat the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And that's fine. But other times you do get bored, and you don't have to do a huge major haul. You can just little teeny tiny things. I don't know. So I thought that was really interesting, because I'm like, yeah, you know, you do get bored sometimes of food. What else did he say? I'm trying to think of other tips that he gave. It was also like eating out. Like, you eat out, and sometimes you feel like you can only eat this one dish. I know, this is so relevant, because yes, when you're a Weight Watcher, you get stuck on these recipes. And people will like give you other recipes and be like, hey, try this. And it's like, oh, thank you so much. I definitely will. Especially if they're unless you're on the green plan, don't tell me, because you're giving me a recipe and that's like 10 points and you're like, here you go, it's really good. I'm sure it's really good, but I'm not trying it. I'm not wasting 10 points on something. I don't even know if you might be really good for you. Might be disgusting for me. People do that. People will be like, here, try this. And it's like, no, I'm not going to try it. But thank you. You try it. You're on blue. You're on purple. That's gonna be 0 for you. It's gonna be 13 for me. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this home. I'm gonna take this lesson home. Switch something up. Maybe just switch up how I'm eating things. I got the mini dash waffle maker. My gosh, I've been making hash browns in that way. So instead of just making it that way on the stovetop, you could just, it's like a different form. I've been adding cheese to it too. Haven't done that before. So try something different this week. Anyways, yeah, enough about me. Let me know, how did your week go? Did you gain? Did you lose? Let me know. And let me know what you're gonna do different. If you are gonna try anything different. I know I am. I'm gonna try, I don't know, but it's gonna be different. So I will see you guys next Saturday. Yes, I'll see you guys next Saturday and give you another update. Hopefully this 0.4 will be no more.